It's been voted the world's best airport 4 years in a row, Singapore's iconic Changi. But this isn't your typical airport. It does have the usual shops, bars, departure gates, but even a butterfly garden. Changi is one of the region's busiest international airports, and at the start of 2016 saw passenger numbers climb 10% in January. And it's putting that boom in growth down to one specific part of the world. A record 55.4 million passengers passed through Changi Airport last year. And the airport management here in Singapore say that growth is due to certain routes in and out and around in Asia. And that's why the airport's senior VP of operations told me there's been a pivot away from intercontinental long-haul flights.
Changi being a hub that's closely linked to key markets like China, India, and also, of course, Indonesia. We're seeing that there are more people traveling from within these countries. So we are also working very hard with our airline partners to continue to thicken the connections that we have with these cities, especially to the second-tier cities in China and India.
Singapore's Changi had long been a major hub for flights between Western Europe and Australasia, but with the advent of Gulf carriers like Emirates, Qatar and Etihad, much of that traffic has disappeared. But Changi management argues that if you want growth, you stay in Asia.
I think the rise of the Middle East Gulf hubs is a major competitive element for us. And of course, on certain routes like between Asia and Europe, they are a strong competitor. But the Middle East is too far in the west for what is intra-Asia traffic. And we are very confident that in Asia, the rise of the middle class, with something like over 2 to 3 billion population in Asia alone, growing more affluent, traveling for the first time over the next 20 years, that is the market that we are aiming to serve. And that's something that the Middle East carriers and the Middle East hubs just cannot take that away from us. So even with this massive increase in capacity given by T5, I think that just puts us in table stakes to compete for Asia-Pacific traffic.
Terminal 5 is Changi's massive new infrastructure project that will add a new terminal building the size of all 3 current ones combined. It will also include a new third runway. When open in the mid-2020s, it will be equipped to handle a staggering 50 million passengers. But some in the industry have criticized the scale of the project, saying it's just too big and too expensive for what Changi needs, something Choi De-wen rejects.
Changi Airport is made out of 3 smaller terminals, and that strategy has stayed in its good state as we grew from a small airport to what we are today. But each of our terminals are now only about 20 to 25 million passengers per annum in capacity. Some of our biggest airline groups, especially the SIA group, is growing far beyond that size, and it's inefficient for them to operate from 2 or 3 different terminals. It complicates their operations. It's also difficult for our passengers to find their way around transferring between terminals. So Terminal 5 was designed from ground up to be much bigger in order to accommodate our biggest airline customers.
But before ground even breaks on the new T5, Changi is eagerly awaiting the opening of another new project at the airport, the Jewel. The multi-billion-dollar project will be the largest shopping and lifestyle precinct at the airport and will also set itself apart with hanging gardens and the world's largest indoor waterfall.
Did want to do, first and foremost, the infrastructure expansion, getting the capacity up for Terminal 1. But we thought, why stop there? Why not add on top of it something that makes Changi Airport an interesting lifestyle destination, something that attracts tourists to come. In the competition between hub airports, I think we're making sure, of course, our airport is efficient, has lots of connections, lots of airlines coming in, but we think that we can have something special by making Jewel a place to be, a place to come to, and that will set us apart from other hub airports.
And that is perhaps the unique thing about Changi. It's a place that locals come and spend a day at, even if they aren't flying anywhere.
Many kids grow up coming to the airport to study. Here on weekends, people come here for food, for shopping, and it's a very big infrastructure in a very small country, in relative sense. And therefore, it is a place where when Singaporeans travel, when they get out of Singapore, they go to Changi. When they come home, they come to Changi. So very much Changi Airport is almost like a home. So when they first come home, they see Changi, that's home.
At Changi Airport, I'm Phil Han for CNBC.